Hello, once again, dear viewers, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today I'm going to be taking messages from the divine, from your future self and your higher self, giving a little sneak peek into any good news or positive changes coming your way in the near future, or at least within the next 10 to 12 months over the course of this year, as well as relaying some warnings or advice or guidance from your higher self in the universe. I want to thank you for joining me once again today. I appreciate your support and I'm just happy to have you here. And hopefully, these messages will bring some peace, some clarity, some inspiration. Getting the feeling that some of you might have need a little bit of a pick me up reading. So right now we are just going to be clear channeling, tuning in to the divine and your higher self, and whatever comes through is going to be in your highest good. Now, remember, this is a general reading and it's timeless. So take only what resonates with you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. There might be other videos on this channel or others as well that will help you. As always, I am here relaying divine guidance for the highest good. And right now, I'm just gonna need a second because it's funny when I tune into this energy. Um, I I don't know what's going on right now, but let me think about this for a second. Well, first of all, let me just say if I receive any songs, I will link it in the description below. And I do want to actually say before I even started this reading, I always sit down and meditate to try to bring in as much as I can, or at least tune into the collective before I even turn the camera on. And I know I said this before, but this was one of the first readings in a while where I was bombarded with so many messages. Like, even before I even knew what I was going to be recording today. So, first of all, there's going to be some confirmation about some things you do know is happening, because when I get a lot of very specific clarifiers or very specific images relating to a reading, it tells me that whoever's tuning in or watching at that time already knows what's going on in their life or already has plans or a vision for the future. So I think I might be just reiterating or almost rehashing what you know has been going on in your life or what you've set intentions to do. But I do want to confirm that a lot of your manifestations or what you set in motion is coming back to you in a very good way. That's one of the biggest things. And we're not going to go into the warnings right now, but I was specifically told to give both a good news message and a warnings message, which is going to hopefully help bring in some divine guidance for how to handle the good news coming in. And now, as a side note, I do also want to say that I might have a little bit of trouble talking, and that's just due to something that's going on with me right now. So I appreciate your patience ahead of time. We will get into this. I promise you. So stick around because this is actually going to be a really good reading. So also let me know in the comments if a lot of these readings about good news and future messages has been helpful, because I would like to do a lot more of these in the future as well. And I also like to hear a lot of input. And since there was a lot of very clairvoyant, claircognizant messages that came through right away, so for those of you tuning in right now, you might even be tuning in for the first time, because I sensed a very fatherly energy over this reading. Like, in contrast with some of my more recent readings, there was a lot of very divine masculine, but specific fatherly energy all around me, even last night and this morning. So some of you actually might be, whether you identify as male or female, like new parents. And so I'm also here, some of you have recently had newborn children. If that's the case, then congratulations. And some good news that might be coming in may actually be those of you who've been wanting children. You're going to be having your first Mother's Day next year, or possibly this year. So, congratulations, because some of the signs and synchronicities I was seeing before I started this up was revolving around children, whether it's the caretaking of children, whether it's parenting future generations, or just being a positive role model in your environment. There's a lot of that positive energy around me right now. If those of you here are fathers for newborn children, or those like toddlers or 4 year olds, one of the biggest pieces of advice that came through was to just keep an eye on them, especially if you are building a new life with a new family, not just being a positive role model to them, but so one of the biggest examples that came through was I saw an image of a father setting up a basketball hoop, like either in their driveway or nailing it or like attaching it to a tree. If you have little ones who are around you and want to help with like stuff like that, like construction, like just be aware that they do want to be spending a lot of time with you and involved with those projects, even if they're very little. And not to say that you should shoo them away, but just be very mindful that they want to help you, and maybe get them a little tiny toolkit so they feel like they're helping daddy out. That is very specific. But I know that, especially when I was younger and at that age, I really wanted to help my parents when, you know, a lot of the people in my family were very handy, and I like to be around them a lot. So I know what it's like to be like that, and just spending time with your children right now seems very important to a lot of you. And in fact, one of the biggest messages I think has been coming in consistently is this summer or even this weekend, or you're going to be spending a lot more time with your children. Some of you might be this weekend from time of recording, or because we have the Easter holidays coming up. But whenever you're tuning into this, if there's a birthday party next weekend, or a baby shower or Mother's Day coming up, from whenever you're receiving these messages, there's just a lot of opportunities for you to spend time with your children or loved ones. And if some of you have graduated recently, this summer is going to be really good for you. And then the next few years, actually, I'm feeling like the work that you did either in school is going to pay off like big time. So there's a lot of good news even coming into the summer, or some of what you've been doing is paying off in the summer. Like, I'm seeing the summertime as there's going to be a lot of rewards coming in. There's this feeling of family reunions. There's also something about like summer camps, barbecues. There's going to be a lot of opportunities and chances for you and your family, or your chosen family, to spend time together. If those of you have been wanting a promotion or asking for a raise, I'm getting the feeling like June, July, and August are going to be months where those requests and your time and effort put in is going to pay off. Like, there is very much a turning point, I do feel strongly, happening for the entire collective into the summer and fall season. And a lot of it's starting now, because we're seeing that the collective demand for change. And I think you're going to see a lot of those positive results, especially if you've been contributing to a family unit and raising the next generation of basically leaders who are going to make lasting change. The good news is that if you are a parent, a father, a mother, or you're starting your family of your own, you're going to be raising really good children and being positive role models for the future. And I really hope that helps. If any of you have been worried about that, if you've been wanting to start a family, you are, even if you're not a parent, a positive role model. That's a lot of what I'm seeing here, at least sensing. Like, I haven't even gotten to the cards, so this is mostly pre video download. That's what I've been seeing. So yeah, let me see. I had to make a whole bunch of notes. This was literally one of the first channeling sessions where it was just like, so this person needs to know this and this person needs to know that, and just overall, you're really good parents and inspiring the next generation. some of you I'm hearing might have been, you're raising a generation of space and NASA engineers or astronauts, which is very, it might sound intimidating right now, but inevitably society is going to evolve and change to the point where we get there. I mean, we need to kind of think of a new and different way to actually go there. I won't get into my viewpoint on that, but when you're basically raising a generation of innovators and, you know, creators, and I'm hearing graphic designers, and just a new wave of people who are going to reshape the world and make it a better place, it starts with you. And if you are in tune with your inner child and you play alongside with your kids, like you take time to engage with them and, you know, in a sense, combined your own inner child with their sense of wonder while still maintaining your place as a parent and understanding that they're just a human being who doesn't know how to be a human being yet. So just be very aware of that. You are going to be creating this mind that is both parts skeptical but open-minded, and we need both of those types of energies to be innovative, to not fall too much into that side of being almost conspiracy theory, kind of going down that lane is what I'm saying. I'm having a hard time. Give me a second. So there's this feeling of you're raising a generation of engineers and astronauts who are innovative, whimsical, and question everything, including authority, in order to keep it in line. And you might even have come from a family who was like that, but you also may have come from a family that denied that, and you're shaping your child's future to be different from what your childhood might have been. Because I keep hearing the phrase NASA engineers. So there is this need to have like a new generation of problem solving scientists, astrophysicists, who have an open enough mind that they can tap into the realm of impossibility to drive the course of civilization forward, which we are not really seeing enough of, because I think a lot of society is being built upon a platform of greed and hierarchy. And literally, like, if you've been in an environment, and some of you may have met people, if you are pursuing a science career, if you're an adult or you're in a field where you want to be in those industries, you know that when you really meet like people who are passionate about space, passionate about science, and all these sort of theoretical fields of study, there is this almost like whimsical childlike nature while still being very grounded and practical. And that is that perfect balance of divine feminine and masculine energies, and that inner child being free. And that's what we need here, not to shame anyone for having an inner child and having that sense of wonder and what could be possible. Like, that is how we made it to the stars in the first place. We did not say something was impossible. We made it so. And you are making your dream a reality. And I think that's the biggest good news you're getting. I'm also getting, the song, was it Mr. Fahrenheit by Queen? I'm going to put that in the description. If you do enjoy listening to music to kind of tap into energy or your higher self, like, I'm going to put that there. Like, and they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. Wow, look at that. Well, look at that. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting this feeling of you're a superstar, rock star parent. And you might have not always been that way, but you're going to become that way and overcoming a lot of these wounds. You're either doing it now or in the near future, this is what you are evolving into. You have a lot of compassion and energy in you. I'm definitely seeing that, even if you don't feel that way all the time or identify as that, because I definitely am feeling that, whether you identify as male or female, or wherever you are in life, parent or not, there's something about your inner father that's shining right now. This inner father wound that's almost like a result of overcoming a lot of stuff that happened in your life, or at least tapping into the side of you that is becoming the super parent, even if it's just for yourself. Because reparenting yourself is an entire can of worms that's very hard to open and not really easy to prepare for. I mean, really. So this summer just seemed to be a very good time of the year for you, because I was seeing a lot of barbecues. I was seeing a lot of events. If some of you have been asking for a raise recently, the Six of Pentacles, if yeah, I'm hearing they're not asking for a handout. So I think some of you, okay, there might be an issue with receiving money or charity from others because of some sort of societal stigma, which is still very pervasive now. So there's no shame in asking for help and receiving help, because a lot of you are doing the hard work. So first of all, get that out of your mind. We don't need that right now. We're a community. We're a group of people, not this one for all and all for none type of mentality. Like, how are we supposed to be a community? How are you supposed to be a family when you are just almost repulsed by the audacity of giving charity or receiving charity or asking for help? And I'm not saying any of you have that mentality. I'm seeing some of you might have it like subconsciously. And let me just tell you, that's not an easy thing to break free from. I know I still have my moments, and I went on this passionate rant in a very recent reading about how I'm like, I could ask for help. I feel fine about it. And then literally this morning, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. I should be able to do this on my own. And it's like, come on, man. No, no man is an island. We work together. I mean, I'm being taken to space, so let me just run with that analogy. You know how many people have to be all hands on deck on a space station? Like, even in the freaking Navy, like, everyone has their part and has their job and has their day. And if you need help, ask for it, or the ship is going down. Listen, you are not just the captain of your ship, but you're also a co-pilot. You are with a group of people who want to help you. You don't have to be the matriarch, patriarch of the family that does it on their own. No one should do that. So mamas and papas out there, or just people who are out there in a leadership role, you need to ask for help. Guys, like, if there's a leak in a pipe and you're fathoms under the ocean, do you just say, oh no, it's fine, I don't do it? No, all hands on deck. You need help. Let me just tell you, because I get very passionate about this whole mentality that we're all stuck in, that tells us we have to lone wolf it. And it's like, well, then what is society? Just a bunch of islands floating in the abyss, never coming together. Just molecules in empty space, not to form into each other to create these massive stars that continue to perpetuate and feed existence itself. We are not that, not anymore. So there is this mentality that you might need to get over. And I'm just going to come out and say that, like, no, come on. Come on, man. But if you're asking for help for someone higher than you, if you were hired to do a job and you went above and beyond, you deserve a pay raise. And what's going to happen is you're going to get one. Because let me tell you, like, there was an episode of The Office, and that was literally the analogy for a lot of like this reading, was the episode of The Office where there's this like massive company picnic for all the branches of Dunder Mifflin. And if you don't know The Office, that's okay. Basically, I think the gist was there's a lot of stuff coming together. Like, two of the biggest main characters have a baby, but there's this sense of like teamwork, like not just competition. It's almost like this feeling of friendly competition. I'm getting over this. You're having this like almost experience in your life where you're joining with a whole bunch of other people in your field, whether that's like literally work. It could be family reunions coming up this summer. It could be a celebration, like collaborative celebration. Like if you have a graduation party and you like join it with other people, or you're going on vacation with a bunch of friends you graduated with, there's just a lot of this camaraderie and getting together. And just knowing that it's like you don't owe anything to anyone really. I think we make that up in our minds sometimes, this feeling of like owing other people when it's just about community and it's not charity to receive help. It's just about building bonds with other people. So there's a sense that there's going to be a lot of community efforts that's going to make you feel more comfortable growing together with an entire group of people. And this could be family bonds, this could be workplace bonds, but I do see a lot of positive results. Even if you don't know you're getting a raise, your work ethics alone is granting you permission basically to take more time off and spend time with your friends and family, like getting guaranteed pay, maybe even paid time off or vacation time. Like there's something that's elevating your life right now, and it's just based on your hard work. So put up that basketball hoop, keep an eye on the young ones. Don't tell them to stay away from you, but allow them to join you on the journey of building your home. And don't worry about your finances right now, because that might feel like a burden, especially if you already have kids and you have new ones on the way, or you're not in a very comfortable place financially. Just know that the universe has your back. It's on your side. And you just have to trust that God finds a way. When we're put into situations and we have all these responsibilities, he finds a way of opening new doors so that we have the ability to take care of what we now are being, we're growing. I'm hearing forced to grow for some of you. If you don't feel like you have to be forced to do or grow anything, but if you are in a situation where it's like growing your family is, is not an option, or it is something you're dealing with right now, I guess bottom line is God finds a way to compensate. And sometimes that's by opening new doors. Sometimes it's by closing old ones. But all in all, you get to have this sense of peace and ability to take time to spend with loved ones who are dear to you. And I think the biggest guidance is to stay optimistic, because I am getting this very much sense, because clairaudiently, I keep hearing the phrase, it's not going to happen. This is a fantasy. I can't have that. So some of you might be resilient to hearing this. And if that's the case, then this might not be a reading to you or reading for you. You might not, this might not apply to all of you. There might be some of you who feel like this can never happen to me. Like, I can't have that time off. I have to work to the bone. Because it's reminding me of a movie. It was with Michael Keaton, and it's called Multiplicity. And basically, it's this father who has two children and a wife and a house that is run down. And he has this job where he does all this work. He's I believe, a construction worker or contractor. And he has to do all this stuff. He has to fix other people's homes, work almost a dead end job, like not be able to spend time with his family and not be able to be there with his wife when they're coming to a weird point in their marriage. And basically, he tries to clone himself to fix the issue. But even then, he still can't enjoy his life because his life is no longer his anymore. And I guess that's kind of like the shortest summary I can give of it, but that's what this feels like. It's like you want to stretch yourself so thin in a situation or job that's not working, when the resolution is maybe you just need to become your own boss, start your own company, or just like a private contracting firm where you get to make your hours, you're in charge of it, you have the experience, you have the worth ethic, and you can make that time for your family and friends and figure out how to be this parent, because life changes. And whether you are a parent or you are either in school or getting out of school recently, your life is going to change. How you approach things is going to change. How you view money in the world and people and family time. Because you're out of school, you're going to have a lot more time to spend with family and friends. You might not have money, but it's about creating that balance in your life where you can have both, but in a way where you end up still being the winner. because you give yourself that grace and the opportunity to change and evolve and grow with your family as it does too, and not cling so tightly to one outcome or one job because it might not serve you. Or if you do get a raise, don't feel like you don't deserve it because you definitely do. Or even a new job position. And at first, it might seem risky, but I think the mentality we fall into is saying it's a fantasy rather than accepting positive change for what it is because we're not used to that. So it's almost like this, I would say almost how would I say this? It's a defense mechanism. It's a psychological sort of inner defense mechanism. If there's a wound surrounding receiving a lot or seeing yourself in a life you never lived, or like dreaming of being in a lap of luxury and then having it handed to you and feeling like you're unworthy, or being afraid to receive it because, well, where do I go from here? How do I maintain it? How do I keep up with it? So there's a lot of that going on beneath the surface that might be making you hesitant to receiving it, but this can be healed, and a lot of it has to do with surrendering and knowing that if you do receive it, you are meant for it. It is for you. Like, God will never place something in your lap that is not meant for you. So let me just say that right now, so you know that this is a very positive shift in your life. Okay, so yeah, a lot of this has to do with manifestations. Like yeah, okay, so this is the advice and warnings. And this, I'm just going to be honest, I have a feeling that all these cards right here is going to just mimic everything I said to you. Because I was just like, oh, I get this energy. I know it all too well. I'm familiar. And I'm just going to be honest. It's a struggle. I get it. I still have a little bit of that in me as well. And it's not going to go away very easily. And let me just tell you, it's okay if you still have that in you just a little bit, as long as you're not turning down opportunities as they arise, as long as you're not looking at someone in your workforce saying, hey, let me help you with that. And turning them down. If your boss comes up to you and it says, hey, there's this really cool managerial position the next town over, it's closer to where you live, and I know you have a family, and you get a pay raise, you say yes. You say yes. You don't say no, because that is for you, because they saw your hard work. And even if you're in this mindset of, I don't deserve it, imposter syndrome, take the opportunity. You'll figure out when you get there. Because what are you doing when you're home with your newly born infant? What are you doing at home after graduating college? You're figuring it out. Let yourself figure it out. Don't close the door of opportunity in its face because you're too afraid to think, well, what am I going to do? You'll figure it out when you get there. So you got this, honeys. Like, just to let you know, you got this. Am I doing? Yeah, we're going to do all reversals. 7 of Wands. Yeah, okay. No notes. I have a feeling. So, yeah. It's like, oh, okay. So I think this is just like literally everything I said, and I love it when that happens. Because, yeah, this is the truth. So the Page of Swords in reverse is like, you want to make an advance towards your future. You want to move forward, but there's something inside that is blocking you. And this Nine of Swords represents a lot of inner turmoil, a lot of inner conflict. And you're almost like fighting yourself with your own swords. And it's like, if you had a lot of people in your life that were naysayers, and like, I'm hearing the phrase, don't stab yourself in your own back. Don't lay down and roll on your own sword because you don't know what you're doing. And let me just tell you, no one really does until they try. Like, that was interesting. So, like, you think that y'all, the Wright brothers, knew what they were doing when they were making the first airplane? Nah. Do you think any of them knew what they were doing when any inventor made the first thing? It's like they were doing things trial and error. You think like when your newborn is trying to walk, they know what they're doing? They don't. It's like, just come at this with the beginner's mindset like you were when you were a child, but come at it with the mindset of inquisitiveness, curiosity. Instead of looking at this like, oh my gosh, I've never done this before, what am I going to do? look at it like, oh my gosh, this is new and exciting. I can't wait to learn how to do this. And the thing is that you can approach this situation with the beginner's mindset and add something new to a position or new to a career or new to your family that hasn't been done before. That's the beauty of being from outside and coming into a new space without knowing what's going on there. Just keep an open mind and stand in your truth and authenticity, and just know these manifestations you set in motion or anything that you had wanted to achieve is going to be made true. If you want to spend more time with your family, to build your home, to be able to provide for yourself, or just find a career with better pay, and you commit to that every day, you commit to that, building your house, building your home, building your family, building your sense of balance within, and accepting whatever the universe has to offer you, you are going to be in that moment where out of nowhere, your boss gives you a job, or you get out of college and you end up in the career of your dreams. It literally does happen. You don't have to always force it. You don't always have to chase or pursue it. You have to do the work. Yes, honestly, it seems like you've really done it. You might not see that's what you've done, but on the outside, someone's looking in and giving you this kernel of wisdom saying, you know what, I saw you when you were just a little guy. I saw you when you just started out in this place, and I'm really impressed. I think you can take this place, this company, this family to the next level and aid society in a positive way. But you got to charge forward with, your head and your heart in the same place, and know that it is something that's possible, because there's a lot of inner conflict. Like, you do have the skills it takes. It might just boil down to getting out of your own head and this imposter syndrome mode. And just when someone says, here's what you have, and on paper it's like it's completely right for you and everything checks out, take it. What's the worst that could happen? You'll be happy. You get to start your child's college fund, or you get to pay off student loans, or hopefully in the future we don't have to do that anymore. Let me just say, free education. Like, you can start the new generation of the educators. Like, that's it. Like, that's the worst that could happen. You're going to be happy. I would definitely take that risk and take that leap of faith. But of course, always look at your options, always take it into consideration, and always do what you know is right for you. So that is the biggest message I have for you today, dear viewers. Accept the help and offers, receive them gracefully, and know that it's a gift from the universe of God for you and your future and everything you asked for. So I'm going to just say right off the bat, like, that is the biggest piece of good news. And I am very happy for you and excited to see what you and your children, or just anything you do, what you accomplish in the future. I am just so grateful that you're here on this planet trying to make it a better place. So thank you once again for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate having you here, and I will see you in another reading.